Shanti, 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 peace from beautiful India to the whole world. So, I'm here today to speak about Pranayama, the fourth limb of Ashtanga Yoga. So, we have been speaking about the yamas, the niyamas. We also spoke about asana and what are the elements of asana in the Ashtanga method. And today we're going to speak about the fourth limb, Pranayama. Remember, and I said this a few videos ago, that Ashtanga Yoga has 8 limbs, and the first 4 limbs, Yama, Niyama, Asana, and Pranayama, can be taught and can be received by the student from a teacher. But the other 4 limbs, they will come when it's our time, when they're meant to come. We cannot study them. They are like a gift from grace, and they're pratyahara, the capacity to go inside. Dharana, concentration. Dhyana, meditation, and eventually samadhi, which is a connection with the everlasting love. And that will come in its own time. We don't need to worry about that. We need to pursue the first 4 limbs. The yamas are Himsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. And there's a video for each one of these in my channel. Please go and review them if you don't know what I'm speaking about. Then the niyamas, that are how we relate to ourselves. In asana, in the Ashtanga method, we are very careful about where we place our gaze, certain inner seals to connect to the energy of prana. And there's like sequences in Ashtanga Yoga. There's 6 series, and we follow the guidance of our guru, of our teachers. And especially to get started in an Ashtanga method, you need to be with a teacher, not online, please. Don't do that. You need to find a teacher, and you have to meet them and connect in these bodies. And because asana in my Ashtanga method is a transmission of energy that is done not only through the hands but by the frequency of a human being who is going to be your teacher. Like when I am in Mysore with my teacher, just being with him in the room is all I need. And on top of that, we're doing the series, and we're sweating, and sometimes we're assisting him, but it all happens in his presence, and that's the magic. The magic happens in the silence, happens in the vibration, and this cannot be transmitted online. We can speak about the teachings of yoga, we can share about ourselves and what is happening now in these times of crisis, but don't fall prey to the asana online, especially lately. There's so much happening, and I already spoke enough about that. So what is pranayama? Pranayama is the conscious awareness of our breathing, and the Ashtanga method is a breathing system, and this I learned from one of my teachers, and she's so amazing, and when she said this, it stayed with me forever. Ashtanga Yoga is not a method of asana, it's a method of breathing. And the breathing needs to be correct. That is why we do a count in Sanskrit. And there's a specific way of inhaling and exhaling. But most of all, the counting strives to bring a balance between the inhalation and the exhalation. If we inhale in 4 counts and exhale in 5 counts, and inhale in 2 counts and exhale in 8 counts and inhale in 12 counts, and the practice is going to be a mess, no matter how impressive our asana can be. The breathing is the balance between inhalation and exhalation. And it's very beautiful because I am a musician, I am a pianist, and since I was very small, since I was 7 years old, I started my music, and I was practicing the scales every day for 2 hours. And my teacher used to have this, it's called a metronome. And so Ashtanga is the same, there's a rhythm that we need to understand, so our yoga practice starts blooming. if the breathing is not correct in Ashtanga Yoga, the practice is going to be very hard. It's going to be actually impairing our perception. It may even cause more harm than benefits. The breathing is the first step in teaching someone this method. So I am adamant that this method has to be taught one-on-one. So don't worry if you are home right now, like all of us, it's not the time for you to start your asana practice, but you can start your breathing practice on your own. You can find a space and you can sit down and lengthen your spine and open your chest, close your eyes and just simply become aware of your breath. And you're gonna see that maybe it's hard to inhale in 4 counts. Maybe it's hard because the muscles around the lungs maybe are a little bit constricted. Don't worry, because just simply by bringing attention to your breath, you're going to be able to expand those muscles slowly, slowly. And you can do this 10 minutes in the morning, you can do this 10 minutes in the evening before your supper, and you're going to feel very clear in your mind and very calm, because the breathing and the speed of your thoughts go together. So if your breathing is calm and deep, your mind is going to start calming down. So eventually you're going to be able to inhale in 4 counts and exhale in 4 counts, and really empty yourself, and then you're going to feel like this energy, this prana is breathing you. You don't need to really do much effort. It's happening mostly of its own. Then you're going to start extending your breath. This means that maybe you're going to try inhaling in 6 counts and exhaling in 6 counts. And eventually you can go all the way to 8, 10, 12. There's actually a Pranayama sequence in Ashtanga Yoga that it's been there for a while. My teacher has not taught it for a long time, but it happens after you have finished your 3rd series. So basically first we need to do the asana as a preparation for the pranayama. The pranayama is actually a more advanced stage of practice because we are dealing directly with the prana. Here in India they say like the prana is like an elephant, it's like a tiger. You have to be careful. First is like, connecting all the cables in your house, and then the prana is when you put the light on. So we prepare the body and the mind for the prana through our asana practice connected to the breath. So if you don't have a practice already and you really want to do yoga and you think yoga is very good and you've been getting comments from your friends, you should practice, refrain to go online for asana. Just sit calmly, close your eyes and observe your breath. And this is already pranayama. Prana is the life force and ayama means control of the breath. It means that we bring awareness to a function that is physiologically automatic. And we bring presence and gratitude to this amazing gift of being able to breathe freely. And in face of this illness that is happening around the world, I think we are all appreciating that we can breathe freely today, at least, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful blessing. So pranayama has many exercises and variations, and you can also explore around those practices, but you have to learn them from a teacher. You cannot learn them online. These practices are a very well kept secret here in India, and it's wonderful that they have been now available for the rest of the world, but they need to be taught from a guru that has knowledge, that has wisdom, and also that has integrity. Because if these practices are not taught that way, they can actually be more damaging than beneficial. So become aware of your breath. That's the best advice that I can give you right now. And if you already have a yoga practice, an Ashtanga practice, observe your breath as you go into the asanas that are harder. And you're gonna see, for example, that in all the chaturangas we have the tendency to go very fast on the exhalation. and open right away, so we don't have to hold the chaturanga, which is one of the most intense postures in the method. But that's the point. The point is that no matter where we are, and this is a beautiful metaphor for our life also, we learn to be there fully and completely and do the best we can. And yeah, in the beginning, chaturangas probably need to be done with the knees on the floor, especially for women. I remember the first chaturanga I ever did in my life. I was going to this gym because there were no yoga studios in my country. And there was this amazing teacher in the gym. It was not Ashtanga, but it was like a vinyasa flow. And you know, I felt like I was very strong because I used to do spinning and I used to run and swim, and I was super sportive and do weights and everything. And I went and I did my first chaturanga and I fell right on my knee. And it was so painful because there was no balance between the strength of my upper torso and my lower body. And yoga, the full aim of yoga is to bring balance into your whole body. So as women, we have usually, you know, not enough strength in our shoulders, in our backs, and Ashtanga is going to help us find that balance. And that balance comes through your breath. So we breathe in and out through the nose only. We keep our mouths closed in practice, but we're not tense, we are relaxed in our jaw. And also you can bring the tip of your tongue behind the upper teeth. That's like a very nice loop that happens in your mouth as you're breathing. And then you simply become aware of this energy that is moving through your body. And expand your lungs as much as you can. Empty yourself as much as you can. And in that beautiful letting go of exhalation, we are also preparing for that moment when we exit these bodies. And if you bring that awareness into your asana practice, as one of my kids, Gael, used to say, yoga is a preparation for death. And he used to tell it to his kindergarten friends, and it was like the teacher was like, what are you telling to your kid? And you know, this is something that he realized on his own. I never said it that I remember in front of him. And yes, yoga is a preparation for death. And in these uncertain times, we don't really know what is going to happen with us. So it's wise to practice that muscle of letting go of these bodies, which is only like a shield to our spirit. And eventually we'll all be there in that moment when we have to surrender these physical bodies and completely go into the next phase of our existence as spirits. So exhalation is a wonderful way of relaxing and releasing and knowing that we are not the doers, knowing that we are not in control, no matter how much the mind tries to be the boss, especially in these times of uncertainty. Exhalation is a wonderful exercise of surrender. Surrender to thy will, surrender to God's will, whatever that is for each one of us. And that brings deep peace. So everything is in your breath. Yoga practice is in your breath. So if you can breathe, you can practice yoga. That's so beautiful. Wherever you are, maybe you are, cooking. Today I did lemon rice for my husband, and I was just like, there kind of struggling because cooking is not really my my blessing, but it came out good. I followed the vinyasa, I followed the instructions, and the final result was pretty good. So in this spirit of expanding in the prana and at the same time of releasing in trust, research a little bit about your breath. That's pranayama. That's the fourth limb of Ashtanga yoga. Very happy to be here, and please write me. I'm here for you. And love from India to the whole world. Take a deep inhalation. Take a deep exhalation. Thank you so much. Namaste.